Hello everyone, I'm here today to do another review for the Booker long list, and this time is The Promise by Damon Galgut. So this is a South African book and it follows a family basically. It's divided in 4 parts and each part follows a member of the family. And so the first part we learn that the mother of the family, when she dies, she promised the caretaker of their farm, because I think they are white rich South Africans, and the woman that lives in the property is black. So when that woman dies, she wants to let the house and the land around the house to the caretaker. She wants to actually make it her property rather than just let her live there like they have been doing so far. At the time it's not allowed because black people in South Africa could not own land because of apartheid. So it is like the charge of the next generation to fulfill that promise. And we see, so then the father dies, and then one of the sisters dies, and one of the brothers die, and we follow in each instance how this promise keeps coming up, but it doesn't get fulfilled. And there is the woman had, I think, 3 children, and one of the daughters of this woman, Amor, she wants to fulfill the promise, and it's trying to push everybody else in the family to do that, but people in the family don't want to do that. They don't think it's necessary, they don't think it's appropriate. So it keeps not happening, even though the mother really made that promise, and this daughter really wants to fulfill it. And then at the end we also see the reaction of this person that is supposed to inherit that piece of land and that house, and how she thinks about everything, but mostly it's about the family and about the colonizers, like the white people that want to save this person or not save it, or the excuses that we give ourselves for not helping who needs it, kind of. But then again, do they need that help that we are offering, or do they just want something else? It's a little bit about that. And yeah, I thought that this book was successful at what they did. When I saw it in the shortlist, I was not super excited because that's not a premise that I'm very excited about. And I kind of felt that throughout the book. Like, I enjoyed the book, I think it was good. I think it's the author did a good job, but it just was not the book for me. Like, the premise didn't captivate me, didn't interest me that much. And I find often, and I was afraid that this was gonna happen, and it did happen, I find often that for some reason white authors from South Africa have this writing style and that certain kind of darkness in their books that doesn't gel with me, like Coetzee does. I have not enjoyed what I've read from Coetzee or Nadine Gordimer. It reminds me a little bit actually of also Mexican literature, which I also particularly don't particularly enjoy, like Roberto Bolaño and Juan Rulfo and all of these people. Yeah, there's a certain kind of darkness that leaves a metallic taste in my mouth that I don't particularly enjoy, and this book had a bit of that feel. So the writing was quite beautiful at times, but it was mostly just not overpowering. It was not, I don't think it was the main point of the book is to make it like super beautiful or anything. It just did its job very well. I don't have a problem with the writing, but also it was a little bit frustrating at times because it got a little bit repetitive. We saw like all of these characters dying one by one, and none of them fulfilled the promise that they made. and it just got like the same thing over and over again, with slightly different reasons, which I guess it's the point of the book, but yeah, it's not that interesting to read sometimes. And then the other thing that quite bothered me as well, and this might just be me, but the main character, one of the main characters, is called Amor, which obviously means love in Spanish. And I was trying to search if that's a normal thing in South Africa and if it has a modern meaning in other languages. I did find there is apparently a singer in South Africa that is called Amor, but I didn't find if it was like an actually common name there that had an other meaning other than love. But it did bother me when you say amor in Spanish like that, to a person, it's either like very cheesy and tacky, or it is like kind of disgusting and sexist, like, you know, these very old men saying that to very young women that they shouldn't be telling. Yeah, a little bit like that. So for me, that was jarring to see that name. And again, I don't know if you know if that's a common name in South Africa, let me know, and if it comes from somewhere else. But yeah, I didn't enjoy that, and I know it's a very personal thing. One thing I liked about this book is, especially at the beginning of the book, it does have quite a lot of South African history, and it goes through consequences of the apartheid, and also the mother of the family is descendant from Jews, so we also have that kind of mixture of cultures that South Africa has a lot of. The Boers and the Jews and the natives, with all of the different communities that the natives have, because South Africa is a very big country and it's an artificial country like most of the countries in Africa. So there are a lot of different communities within it, and we kind of follow, I mean, we follow more the communities, the white communities, but we do follow different communities there, and the different consequences and cultures in that, within that. So that got me searching a lot of Wikipedia articles about the history of South Africa and the different communities of white people living there, which, I mean, again, I would have liked more if it had more focus on different native communities in South Africa rather than the whites. But the author is white, so that happens. But yeah, overall I did enjoy the fact that this book made me look for extra information. I think that's always a sign of a good book, if it's making you look for more information. But yeah, there were also elements that bother me, like the name, which again might be my own ignorance. I did find a very interesting fact. Apparently there is a Boer Afrikaans community in Argentina, because they were kicked out by, I think, the English after the war they had. So they flew to Argentina. So now there is a whole community in Argentina that speaks Afrikaans, which I didn't know. But as far as I know, they didn't come back and brought Spanish with them. So I don't know why there were like random couple of Spanish words there. That was weird. And yeah, I would love to see more focus on the native South African cultures and all of the plethora of cultures and traditions that there are there, rather than focusing on the different white populations in South Africa. But yeah, I mean, that's more, again, that's more on me than on the book itself. I think the book was well executed, and it did the premise justice. I just didn't gel with the premise in the first place, so how can I enjoy the book, you know? Yeah, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but those were my thoughts, my very conflicting thoughts about this. And yeah, I was a bit disappointed because there was so much hype about this, especially in the Booker Boy Discord. They are saying like this is the book that's gonna win, and yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want it to win, but I think it will be in the shortlist. So yeah, we will see. Let me know if you have read it and if you have thoughts on it. And until next video, bye!